Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, we're gonna continue with the review in the cultural theory in the chapter 12, and the title is a psychoanalytic approach to culture and the self. So, in this chapter, we know that relationship between cultural theory between psychoanalytic theory is the complex because there are the infinites in as far as both the social life and essentially about meanings and emphasize the need for interpretation. So the next is the relationship becomes strained over two themes. So the first is psychoanalysis, that is in traditional form at least his tended on the focus on the pathologies of the individual rather than collective phenomena. On the second is tendency toward psychological and biological reductionism. In much psychoanalysis, though, it can move the have been made by some psychoanalytic thinkers aimed at breaking down this barrier, make out one of the major achievements of 20th century cultural theory. So this work has now reached a state where it sometimes seems impossible to deadline certain psychoanalytic theories from cultural theory more broadly conceived. So before we can discuss these more recent theories, we need to review a few works of the founder of psychoanalysis. That and the name it is Sigmund Freud. So this is the people named Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of the psychoanalysis, a, cli- a clinical method for treating psychopathology through dialogue between a patient and a psychoanalysis. Sigmund Freud was born in a Galician Jewish parent in Moravian town of Freiburg in the Austrian Empire. So Sigmund Freud challenged the assumption that the self was merely what can be seen on the surface. So he argued that identity, personality, and the mental function were far more complex than anyone had previously imagined. The first he claimed the world a basic split between the conscious mind and a hidden unconscious mind. In Freud understanding, the soul was very much about sexuality, instincts, and pleasure. So, according to his theory of the pleasure principle, they didn't become buried or rephrased in the unconscious, where they will sometimes generate neurosis, perversions, obsession, and the other psychic pathologies. Um, and the next material is post-Freudian theories of self and society. So, psychoanalytic theory has not stood not to steal science for that. In many ways, civilization and this content sets the scene for this shift with its interest macro sociological issue and the link between pathology and modernity. So, in the next part is the Frankfurt School. In the Frankfurt School, is a school was theory and critical philosophy associated with the Institute for Social Research at Goethe University, Frankfurt. In sociology and political philosophy, in the term critical theories describe the Western Marxist philosophy of the Frankfurt School, which was developed Germany in the 1930s and draw on the ideas of Karl Marx and Sigmund Freud. So the people is Jacques Lacan. For this influenced for by structuralism, for structuralism, and the discourse analysis. Jacques Lacan in the 1977, writing from the 50s till 60s, are the key of theorizing the association of the culture and psychoanalysis on one of the reason for its. So the next post-Lacanian post psychoanalytic cultural theory. By combining psychoanalytic theories with the structuralist understanding of the culture, Lacan's work has exerted distinctive impact on the cultural theory. So the next postmodern psychoanalytic cultural theory. So we move from structural toward modern psychoanalytic theory. More attention is given to such issues of desire and pleasure, alongside attacks on the concept of the unitary subject as the repository of the desire. Okay, that's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.